While we were in the shop, one of our brothers from the church came and just stayed with us. I didn't do that. My dad has passed away. Someone with a pain that you know so that you know nothing about. You don't mock someone because you see the person, you heard something, you don't know the history. You talk because you want to talk. My mom killed my dad. At some point, when we got to that new place, at some point, even though I was talking and everything, my dad became bedridden. That most times he cannot move from place to place, and he cannot be able to stand and go out and be with people. And it made me that every day I come to work, I must rush back to the house to check how he is. Most times he's messed up, and I'll try to clean him up. One of we had to sell some things. Couldn't afford television. We sold some things that we had. I want to tell you all, the whole world, anyone that cares to know that is how my dad died. That is how I lost my daddy. After all the suffering, after the money that we spent, we couldn't make it. See your smile and never start. Feel your warmth, though you're afar. Your laughter lingers in the air. A piece of you is always there. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where when you're going to be seeing this video. My name is Somi. Thank you for joining. Thank you for clicking to watch this video. Hope you guys are okay. I hope you guys are doing well. Yes, today is a beautiful day, and yesterday was Father's Day. Yes, yesterday was International Father's Day in the whole world. And a few days back, I have been so emotional because I lost my dad when I was still small. But before I lost my dad was sick for so many years. He was sick. At first, when the sickness started, my dad had partial stroke, that he cannot, one part of his body cannot move. And we started, treating BP. He had a very high BP, 258 over something close to that. So we started treating BP. And then my dad stopped going to work because my dad owned a mill where things are being grounded, both dry and wet things. So by then my brother had finished writing his WAEC. So my brother was assisting him at the shop. So my dad was no longer going to work. We started managing the BP. We employed a nurse that always come to our house to check up this BP like every 2 days, 3 times in a week. And he started taking medication. And after some months, he started improving. Then he went back to working because my dad is someone that doesn't like to stay at a place. So he had to go back to his work. So in the process of going back to his work, he I don't know whether I'll call that poison, but we something started, a wound started coming out from his leg. Like the slippers he was wearing, I don't know whether it was the slippers that gave him the wound. So we had to change that slippers because of that wound. Then we started treating the wound. We checked for sugar and he did not have sugar. So we started treating the wound. The wound later stopped, later dried up, and he continued going to work. Then one day he said that he hit his leg somewhere. I don't know how it happened, but he had another injury in his leg. So that was when the trouble started. Although he was managing to go to work with that injury he had there, we were managing it. Before you know what was happening, it started to whiten, and they said it's poison. In Igbo here they call it achiri. So that was when the trouble started. Treating. He did not have sugar because we checked his sugar again to know whether he's diabetic. So we started treating, buying drugs. That was when we started spending money, because as time goes on, the wound expands. It keeps expanding. We did everything. We anything they asked us to do. We started seeking for help, both from native medicine and even the normal English medicine. But it seems nothing was working. Then my dad started staying at a place he cannot move that leg. So we are managing in all these things. My mom was struggling. He was the one trying to fend for the family. And there by then, I was done with my SS2, going to SS3. I was about to write my senior WAEC. So, but I couldn't go on to write that senior WAEC because of that illness. Just working and working and working, saving up money, and we were buying medications. My mom also was the one managing the meal because my other brother was sent to learn trade. Even my younger sister too, she was sent to go stay with someone. So it was just me, my mom, and my younger brother and my little sister. Because we were 5, I'm the eldest daughter. So we kept struggling. The reason why I'm sharing this is because someone, in this part of the country, anything that happens to a man, maybe the man did not live old and died. The man was not old enough before he died. They would target that the woman killed the man. So somebody accused my mom of killing my dad. At that point, I was so emotional because what we went through, it was not something for a day. It was not something for a month. It was not something we suffered for a year. We suffered for years. I could not go to school. Even when, by the time I entered school, all my mates, they were out from university. So, but I was not looking at that. All we were trying to do was just to save my dad. So we walked and walked. Then after some years, my sister and my brother, they came back. They had to come and start helping my younger brother. Was helping my mom. My other sister, she started doing another. She opened up a shop where she used to sell something. She too, she did not. She stopped at SS32. She wrote WAEC. The wound got worse. That every day we had to clean it. So the nurse kept coming to clean it, and all those things we are being charged for it. So at some point they gave out quick notice in the place that we were living, and we had to look for another place. So we found another place. It was just a room, and we stayed there for up to a year because that place they just gave it to us to just be staying, since that's my dad's health challenge. So, but at some point, one of the women that owned that place refused and said that we should pack out. We can look for another place. Then my mom, we had to sell some things. We couldn't afford television. We sold some things that we had. Nothing was in our house. It was just a chair and a bed and our clothes and some of our kitchen stuff. So that was how we kept on moving. So by God's grace, we were able to secure another place. It was not easy for us, but we had to manage. That second house that we went to, the other house that we secured, it was just a decking. And when rain is falling, you see that rain will be entering the house because the decking has not been finished and it is not roofed. So we are just managing there. Most times when you'll be sleeping, you see roof falling off and breaking things and all that. But we had to manage because we don't have any other option. And we were just trying. All our efforts was just to see that we save our daddy. So we packed out and moved to another place and we secured that one room and we were managing it. So that's my dad's wound was so big that what is it called? Those small things that used to infest rotten things was coming out from it. There was no phone at that time, but we had pictures, but the picture is not with me. So we had to be cleaning these things, take oath. We were doing so many things. We went to so many places, so many traditional medicine people, and the money that we were spending was not small money. So when all these things were happening, my mom was calling my dad's younger brother, the only surviving younger brother. But you know how things are. They can do the ones they can do. So at some point, when we got to that new place, even though I was still working and everything, my dad became bedridden. that most times he cannot move from place to place, and he cannot be able to stand and go out and be with people. And it made me that every day I come to work, I must rush back to the house to check how he is. Most times he's messed up, and I'll try to clean him up. That point when my dad was bedridden, we were trying to do everything. If not for the way we handled that wound, people wouldn't have been coming into our house or stay comfortably. But we make sure that every day we have to clean the wound. So we called many people. Some people will come and treat. It will not work. They will have to go, and we have paid them money already. So that was how we were. Application was one traditional man. When the man saw him, the man said that he can do it. That we are going to pay 200,000, but first for deposit, that we should deposit 100,000. Then on that fateful day, one of my cousins came down because my dad's brother asked him to come to see how things are, because we have been calling them. So they now came and they saw that the thing was so critical that they have to give us 20,000 as at then. Then when they left, that native man that was paid to treat him came and collected 100,000 from us and wrote down the things that I'm going to buy, those Izal, everything that I need to buy, buckets, and I'm going to buy, that he will commence treatment the next day. So I was happy that my dad is going to work again. So when the man left, I now rushed to the market to go and get those stuff. And that day rain fell so much that I had to stay back. I couldn't start coming back because if you know Nichawa, you know that when rain is falling, they have big gutters. So after the rain, that was around evening, I said, let me go to our shop and see whether I will take anything to the house that we will cook. So when I got to the shop, I said, let me stay and help them because that day was Saturday. So when we were in the shop, one of our brothers from the church came and just stayed with us. I didn't do that. My dad has passed away. So that brother came, and was trying to play with us, trying to talk to us, So we had to finish fast and start. We packed fast and started going with him. So I was also carrying those things I bought. I was telling him how I went to the market and how the rain started falling, and I had to stay back. So when we got to our house, we saw people standing there, and we saw our pastor, and I started asking them. I rushed in to go and check on my dad. They had to hold me, but I couldn't hold myself. I knew that something has happened. I was so close to my daddy as the full daughter. So I carried myself up. I hit myself on the floor. And that was it. My dad was gone. It happened that evening, our pastor said that something moved him to come to our house. That as he entered our house and called my daddy, that was when my daddy had a very long breath, like he breathed in, something of that nature. And by that time, my daddy already had bed sore because he cannot stand up. He just stay at a place. He had a bed sore on his back. And all those things, they promised us that it's going to be okay, but we did not see it coming. We did not see death coming. So that was how I lost my dad. And somebody said my mom killed my dad. How can a woman kill the man that he loved? You know how my mom suffered. My mom really suffered for us that I have not even started paying her back for all her suffering. She have not really started enjoying the fruits of her labor. I know how we suffered. I know how we strived. My mom denied herself so many things. My sister deprived herself of her education. And I was the only one that was sent to school because I said I must go to school. Even when I was in school, I just thank God for people that God used to help me. And I was able to finish my ND program. It was not easy. You don't mock someone with a pain that you know nothing about. You don't mock someone because you see the person, you have something, you don't know the history. You talk because you want to talk. I want to tell you all, the whole world, anyone that cares to know that is how my dad died. That is how I lost my daddy. After all the suffering, after the money that we spent, we couldn't make it. In these few days, I feel so emotional. And my dad is in heaven. Because the last few days he was on earth, he was just praying for forgiveness. That is what happened. We suffered. My mom suffered. But I know everything will fall in place. I know everything will fall in place. My father has so many visions, has so many plans for us, but those plans couldn't work out. So we have to face life the way we saw it. But it is well with my soul. So that is how I lost my dad. And our lives have not remained the same, but with God on our side, we have been surviving. Thank you so much for watching. And to everyone also passing through similar case, you are not alone. You are not alone. God has not failed us. He always shows up. He always brings people. And to those that open their mouth and say what they like because they have mouth to talk, I want to tell you that no one knows tomorrow. No one knows tomorrow. Don't mock someone with the pain you don't know anything about. Thank you so much everyone for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you, and God bless you all. Bye.